Are you guys able to listen to me? Okay, cool. So like, let's start doing the chapter. Let me just check if I am the host. Yes, I am the host. I have started recording. Okay, so we were supposed to study about something called digestion today. So the other day we have completed this topic on heterotrophic nutrition completely. Have we completed that one last week? The nutrition in amoeba, the process of ingestion and all those things. Have we completed? Okay, cool. So we'll start with digestion. So today we are going to study about digestion. So what is this digestion? Let us start to define it first of all. So what is digestion? Digestion is a process by which complex food is broken down into simpler substances. So this is what is the definition of digestion. So please understand that it is a catabolic process. Did I teach you what is the meaning of catabolic? Have we studied about catabolic or anabolic process? No, we haven't studied. So I will just try to tell you what it is. Okay, got it. You do not know, so I'll teach you. So we are talking about metabolism. So what is this metabolism? This metabolism is the sum total reaction happening in our body. So what do I mean by this? So what I'm trying to tell is like we are like kind of eating substances. So let us say that for example, I am what I am eating. Okay, so say for example, I'm sort of like eating some kind of food substances. What is happening to those food substances? Those food substances are broken down in my body. Okay, and what is happening is those substances are used to rebuild my body. So say for example, when I was like say like a kid, I was just very badly like a very small person. I was, so maybe I was just like say very short in stature. Maybe I was 3 feet. So today I have like grown into a structure where I have grown up to 5 feet. I mean 5 feet 10 or 11. Okay. So 5 feet 10 inches or 5 feet 11 inches I have grown. So how is this transmission has happened? I have grown. Okay. So how is this thing I have grown? I have grown because the food substances which I have ate is converted into my body. Okay. So say for example, what is the difference between a person who's having a six pack and a person who's having a tummy? Only some people have six pack, not everyone has six pack. Okay, so basically what is happening is you are what you are eating, the fat, the diet, exactly. So what is exactly happening is, so a person who is becoming slim and having a six pack has ate lots of proteins consciously, whereas a person who's obese has ate lot of fat. So what has happened, whatever you eat is being broken down in your body, and it is broken down into simpler substances, and the simpler substances are used to build your body again. Okay, so this is what is becoming your body. So please understand when I'm trying to tell you, like you're what you eat basically. Like you eat too much of potato, you'll become like a potato. Okay, so or like you talk about like this one. Like let us talk about you. I'll show first slide and I'll just like hang on for a while. So listen to me first, then we can write. I'll give you time to write also. So basically what you need to understand is whatever you're eating is being broken down into simpler structures, and those simpler structures are like kind of used to rebuild your body. So that is what is happening in your case. So you please understand that this is what is happening. So now this is comprising of two parts. What is that part? The first part where things are broken down. So this part is called as catabolism. And there is a second part where there is a building part. This process is called as anabolism. So what is catabolism? Breaking down process in your body where bigger substances are broken down into smaller substances. So now what is happening is these smaller substances are used to build into a larger component. So this process is called as anabolism. This is catabolism. Are you guys able to understand? So ultimately, whatever is happening in your body, say for example, today I have ate some egg. If I have ate some egg, that egg is having proteins. The proteins will be broken down into simpler processes which are there in the thing, into a simpler component which is there. Okay, and then again, what is happening? That egg molecules are used to like build it again. Okay, so now Mohana Krishnan is asking me, some may become obese if they have more secretion of what hormone? What Ghrelin hormone? Okay, there is something which is called as abnormality. Okay, because of there is nothing called as Ghrelin hormone. There is no hormone which is called as Ghrelin. Okay, probably it is growth hormone. Okay, I mean like there is no hormone which is called as Ghrelin. To my knowledge, there is nothing called as Ghrelin hormone. Gerlina. No, 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 no. There is no such hormones. Okay. At least not related to the growth. I mean, like there are no such hormones which are there. So there is something called as, there are other hormones which are there, which will be responsible for being fat. You have something called as cortisol. There is a hormone which is called as cortisol, which can make you obese. Okay. Then you also have some kind of hormone. So cortisol only will make you mostly obese. Okay. Cortisol is there. So the next question, I mean, like this is the thing. So what is this thing? Catabolism is there, anabolism is there. This catabolism and anabolism together only we call it as metabolism. Okay, so this is just a slide where I'm teaching. So let me come back to the original slide. What is the definition of digestion? Digestion is a process by which complex food is broken down into simpler substances. I said that it is a catabolic process. What do I mean by catabolic process? Catabolic process means breaking down process. Okay, metabolism is divided into two types. Metabolism comprises of catabolism and it comprises of anabolism. So what is essentially happening in your body? The reactions, the total reactions which are happening in your body. The reactions which are happening in your body is basically two things. One is what we call it as your catabolism, and the second one is what we call it as a anabolism. In catabolism, what is happening? In catabolism, substances are broken down. And anabolism is a process where substances are building up. Okay. So now let me ask you some question to see whether okay. So to see whether you have understood, what is the thing that you have understood is like, now tell me, we have studied photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is catabolism or anabolism? If you know the answer, please type it to me. Chanvya has answered correct. Jayadarshini has answered correct. Okay, so there are some confusions. Some people are responding wrongly also. Okay, wait. So let me explain. What is happening in photosynthesis? Simpler substances to complex or complex to simpler is the question. So if you see photosynthesis as a process, simpler substances like carbon dioxide, water are combined to form a complex substance which is C6H12O6. So it is happening simple to complex, it is moving. So since it is moving from simple to complex, we call this as a anabolism. Okay. What about respiration? We haven't completed respiration. Okay, we haven't completed respiration. So later we'll study about respiration. Okay, so we'll not worry about respiration now. But yeah, respiration is a catabolical process. We haven't studied it, so don't worry about it. So what I am trying to tell you is, like, we have just seen the definition of digestion, and we have studied something called newly, which is called as metabolism now. So now we are going to study digestion in detail. So let us move on further. So let us learn, where does digestion happen. In human beings, the digestion happens in the alimentary canal. Okay, so what is this alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is a long pipe-like structure with two openings. One being mouth and the other being anus. So you have two openings which is like from the mouth till the anus. It is a long pipe-like structure. So that entire process of digestion will happen in alimentary canal. Okay. So the digestion can be broken down into multiple stages. What are the parts of the alimentary canal? The first part is what we call it as buccal cavity. Buccal cavity is also called as mouth. In buccal cavity, you will have three subparts. What are the three subparts? You have your teeth, you have your tongue, and you have your salivary glands. These three things are there. Okay. My larynx and all will not come here. Okay. So let us not talk about larynx and all here. Larynx is not there. First, let me teach you. Buccal cavity is the first part, which is also called as mouth. Okay. The second part is what we call it as your pharynx. The pharynx is what we call it as throat. The third one is what we call it as esophagus. In esophagus is also called as the food pipe. Okay. And then the fourth part is gastrum, which is also called as stomach. The fifth part is intestine. You have two intestine, small and the large. These are the 5 parts of what we call it as thing. Okay. Right from the stomach till your intestine, we call it as gut. Anus is part of large intestine. Okay, so we will try to study about those things. Anus is the last part of large intestine. It is a section of large intestine. So please don't get confused about it. So the major parts of alimentary canal are 5. What are they? They are the buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, then you have your gastrum or stomach, then you have intestine. In intestine, there are 2 types of intestine. One is what we call it as your small intestine, and the other one is what we call it as your large intestine. Okay, quickly copy this thing down so that like I'll continue once you're done. So first I want you to write 2 things. I want this definition to be written properly. So please write this is definition. Definition of digestion. This is the first thing I want you to write. The second thing that I want you to write is, I want you to write the definition of metabolism. So this is the definition of metabolism. The third thing is your types. So I want you to write these 2 things as a third point. What are the steps of catabolism? So first I want you to write what is digestion. Second, I want you to write what is metabolism. The third thing I want you to write what are the types of metabolism. So this definition should include that it is a catabolic process. Ma, what's Anvia? You're typing some random things. Okay, liver does not come here into this picture, but it will be like kind of coming into the case. I mean, like I'll try to tell you. Liver is kind of an attachment. I will show you the picture of alimentary canal, then you will understand it. Salivary glands, I'm just going to teach, so just give me some time. So this is the first slide. Then I want you to write this thing. Yes, if you have any doubts, you please type it out. Don't raise your hand. I might not be able to understand what is your question. Can we proceed? Pancreas also the same way. We will study about all those things, liver and all we'll try to study. Okay, just hang on. Okay. So now we will study about buccal cavity. No, respiration is also a catabolic process. There can be many things which can be catabolic. Digestion is one of the type of catabolic process which is happening in our body. We also have respiration. The buccal cavity, we have something called as teeth. Let us try to study about teeth first of all. Okay. We all have teeth. Okay, teeth is something which we have to know that there are, we call ourselves as heterodontic. What is the meaning of heterodontic? Having many types of teeth. Okay. So what do you understand by heterodontic? Hetero means the word hetero itself is many type, many. Whenever you are seeing the word don't, it means teeth. Do we have like one type of teeth or many type of teeth? There are 4 types. What are the 4 types? We would have studied in 7th standard. Incisors, canine, premolars, molars. Okay. Incisors will be, actually you have something called as a dental formula. What is this dental formula for human beings? It is 2, 1, 2, 3 divided by 2, 1, 2, 3. What is the meaning of it? This 2 refers to incisors. This 1 refer to canine. This 2 refers to premolars. And this 3 refers to molars. What is the meaning of it? How many teeth of incisors are there in the half of the mouth? Number of teeth in the half side of the mouth. Okay, so that is what we call it as dental formula. So which means what is the meaning of it? In the upper half, if you're going to talk about a mouth, okay, one half how many teeth is going to be there? You have 2, 1, 2, 3. It is arranged this way. In the bottom also it is arranged in the same way. 2, 1, 2, 3. Which means in the upper half you will have 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, 3 molars. Similarly, this is like 8 totally. Similarly, in the bottom half you are having 2 canines, 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, and 3 molars. So this will count to 8. So similarly, the other side, if you are going to see, you will have 1, 8 and you will have 1, 8. So totally you will have 32 teeth in your mouth. So this is what is dental formula. Okay. Yes, the recording is going on. No issues. Okay, so this is what we call it as dental formula. So in human beings, something that you have to know, teeth is there. We have a heterodontic structure. What is the meaning of heterodontic structure? There are many types of teeth. There are 4 types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Then you have to know what is the dental formula for human beings. In dental formula for human beings, it will represent the number of teeth in half side of the mouth. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so now you have, okay, someone is asking dental formula for children. So we also call it as, I'm just moving on to that concept. We call ourselves as diphyodont. Human beings are diphyodont. What is the meaning of diphyodont? Which means we have a milk teeth and we also have the permanent teeth. This is a precursor teeth. Okay, so while you're having diphyodont, you will have 2102 divided by 2102. This is the dental formula for our milk teeth, which means you will not have premolars. As children, and only you will have 20 teeth. Okay, so please understand, this is what is dental formula for children. So what is the role of teeth? It will cut, break, grind, chew food. Okay, so these are all the work of food. Okay, we can commonly call these processes as emastication. What is this word emastication means? The word emastication mainly means to chew. Okay, but it also means breaking down into smaller parts. I am using a new word here. New word has been introduced to you. So I am talking about something called as emastication. What is emastication? Emastication means chewing the food. Okay. So the next structure which is there is called as salivary glands. We have 3 pairs of salivary gland. Okay. The first group of glands is what we call it as parotid gland. So if you guys are able to see me, if you are putting your hand here and then if you're like kind of like doing this action, okay, in this particular place where you are able to see it, if you're like putting this hand and then like if you're like rotating it like this, you will see that saliva will be oozing in your mouth. This region is where you have the first pair. This is called as parotid gland. Okay. The second thing is your mandibular. What you do is you just roll your tongue and then touch the upper part and then like take it slowly inside. there will be some soft palate. You will be able to see, like the moment you're putting your tongue on the top, first you will see hard palate coming up. Some region will be hard. You take it, roll it on inside. You will be able to find something which is soft. That is called as a soft palate. The moment you are like touching more and more of the soft palate, you will see more and more of saliva coming out of your mouth. That is where your mandibular gland is located. And the third gland is what we call it as a sublingual gland. What is the sublingual? This is sublingual. Lingua means tongue. Beneath the tongue. Rotate your tongue and then like you take it and then see it in your thing. You will see two dark spots beneath your tongue. Here. Okay, that is where your sublingual gland is located. So what is the role of all these three salivary glands? They will secrete saliva. Okay. So salivary glands will secrete saliva. Something that you have to know about saliva. Saliva contains water and then it will contain enzyme which is called as salivary amylase. And it will also have lysozyme. Okay, so it will contain salivary amylase, as well as what it will contain an enzyme which is called as lysozyme. What is the role of this salivary amylase? The salivary amylase digests carbohydrates. And what is the role of this lysozyme? It is an antibacterial enzyme. Antibacterial enzyme that kills organisms. So if you're eating some kind of like unwanted germs with your food, this lysozyme will be like kind of what? It will be trying to kill the organisms which are present in the food. Okay. So quickly, let me show you the slides, 2 slides about saliva, where, excuse me, saliva is secreted. There are 3 types of salivary glands: parotid glands, mandibular, and sublingual glands. What is the role of this saliva? Saliva has water. It has enzymes. The enzymes present are salivary amylase, which will digest carbohydrates, and it will also have lysozyme, which is an antibacterial enzyme that kills organisms. Then you have tongue. Okay. Tongue contains papillae. What are papillae? These are structures that contain taste buds. Okay. It mixes the food with saliva. Yes, the process of digestion will begin in the mouth itself. Exactly. That is what we are going to study. We'll be like studying in the next slide. But as of now, you please understand what is the role of tongue. Tongue is a structure which will contain papilla. Okay. Singular is papilla. The plural word is papillae. Okay. Yeah, there are taste buds which are there in the specific region. You have like different kinds of taste buds also. Okay, those things you'll study in 11th standard, not now. So as of now, you please understand that there is something called as papilla. These papilla will be containing taste buds, and these taste buds will be like sort of like what helping us to perceive the taste. And also what it does is it will try to mix the food with saliva, so it is helping in mastication. Hey, 1 minute. I think I have given something here. You please cut off this E. It is just mastication, not emastication. Yes, correct. Water will be like helping to soften the food. So now let us try to see what is happening in buccal cavity. First step is food is broken down by teeth. Saliva is secreted by salivary glands. The third one, tongue mixes the food and saliva to form food bolus. So food plus saliva is called as what? Broken, and then like the paste kind of structure that you eat. I mean, while you're eating, chewing, you get a paste kind of substance. That substance is what we call it as food bolus. And then fourth, what is happening? Salivary amylase digests carbohydrates in the food. So approximately 30%. Okay, what will happen? Your the carbohydrate that you will be eating mostly is starch. The starch is broken down into simple sugars or it is broken down into maltose, depending on what you're trying to eat. Okay, so there are two structures which are like kind of getting into this thing. Hey, what is the meaning of the word taste, man? Harit, what do you think is the taste bud? It is helpful for tasting the food. So in mouth, only one substance is broken down. It's starting to break. Which one? The carbohydrate. Starch is one type of polysaccharide. Carbohydrate, starch and all is only one thing. Okay, like let me just move on and then like explain. There are many types of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, very simple molecules, are called as monosaccharides. Mono means single. Saccharide means sugar. So there are some simple sugars are there. Will come here. There is a sugar which is called as fructose. There is a sugar which is called as galactose. These are all monosaccharides. Okay. Then you have a second category which is called as disaccharides. Di means two sugars. So which means what? Two sugars will be joined together like this. Example will be sucrose. Sucrose is the sugar that you are eating. You are eating some sugar, no, in tea, coffee and all. That is a sucrose. Similarly, you have maltose. Maltose is a sugar which is made up of glucose and glucose. Two glucose molecule, when it is joined, it will form a sugar which is called as maltose. Your milk and all will have carbohydrate lactose. That is what? One glucose molecule will be joined with one galactose molecule. What is disaccharide? Two simple sugars are joined together. Okay, glucose is like this, only one sugar molecule will be there. Fructose is like this, only one fructose molecule will be there. Galactose will be there like this, which will be having this thing. Now, when one glucose is going to join with one fructose, it forms a disaccharide which is called a sucrose. There is maltose. What is this maltose? Maltose is present in all your Bonvita coffee, Bonvita, Boost, Horlicks and all. You will see this word malt based drink. Whichever is based out of malt, it will contain maltose. What is this maltose? Maltose is basically two glucose molecule joined together. In your milk and all, you have one more thing. What is that type of sugar is there? You have a sugar which is called as lactose. This lactose is something which is made up of one glucose molecule and one galactose molecule. So all these things are ragi malt. Yes, exactly. So ragi malt means it will have maltose. So then you have the third variety, which you call it as a polysaccharide. Where you have like many glucose molecules are joined together as a chain. Like this. That is what we call it as a polysaccharide. Examples for polysaccharide is starch, which is present in plants. In human beings, glycogen. We will study what this glycogen is. So you also have cellulose. Cellulose is a type of polysaccharide. What is the meaning of polysaccharide? All these things are different kinds of things. So if what is essentially digestion is, your digestion, at the end of a digestion, if you are eating polysaccharide, it has to be converted into a monosaccharide. That is what is breaking down simpler substances. So this is complex substance that you are eating. You are eating food in the form of complex substance, polysaccharide. You are eating roti, you are eating chapati, you are eating rice. All those things will be made up of complex substance, which is polysaccharides. But what is that you need for functionality? So what is happening? These polysaccharides are broken down into monosaccharides. How will you break? All of a sudden, you cannot break a bigger substance into smaller substance. Sometimes they will be broken down into smaller, even smaller things. So first it might be converted, a chain of 100 might be broken down. Let us say that there is a chain of 1000. This 1000 might be broken down into say hundreds first of all. When some of this thing is broken down into 2. Okay, and 98. Like that it can break. It is like kind of a breaking. You just imagine that you are going to break something. You cannot break everything completely all together in one step. So what I am trying to tell here is, I am trying to tell that starch will be broken down into maltose or simple sugars, basically. Or it can also be converted into oligosaccharides. What is oligosaccharides? small chain of glucose. Let us say, instead, if you're talking about a polysaccharide might have 1,000 molecules joined together, but a oligosaccharide might have only 8 to 10. Okay, are you able to understand? So that is what is oligosaccharide. Am I clear? Am I communicating? Are you able to understand it at all? Are you guys understanding? Just respond positively, either by giving a thumbs up or saying yes. Okay. Okay. So that is what is thing. Glycogen and all we'll study. Okay. So glycogen we'll try to study it. So please understand that this is what is happening in your mouth. So what we have studied now is we have studied about digestion in the mouth. The food is converted into food bolus. So what is the main thing which has happened here? Food has been converted into food bolus. But basically you have like many types of carbohydrates. When you are having only one unit, we call it as mono. When you are having two, you have it as a di. If you are having three, we call it as a trisaccharide. If you are having four, we call it as a tetrasaccharide. Just indicating the numbers basically. When you don't know the number, but if it is a smaller chain, you don't know how many carbohydrates are there. But if it is a smaller chain, we call it as a oligo. If you find it is a very big chain, say like a long chain, it is continuing. So let us say that it is made up of like some 1,000, 2,000 molecules. In such cases, we call it as polysaccharide. Oligo means 8 to 16. So if it is a smaller chain of say like 8 to 16 sugars are attached, we call it as a oligosaccharide. When it is like kind of like having many sugars attached, we call it as a polysaccharide. Okay, are we able to understand? Yes, all carbohydrates are made up of sugars. Sugars are the building blocks of carbohydrates. Okay, you imagine like this. You have a garland, rose garland. Rose garland is a garland made up of roses. Rose is a monomer unit. So similarly, carbohydrate is a garland which is made up of, say, sugars. Okay, so carbohydrate is a big time chain which is made up of sugars. Even a single rose is also a rose. Two roses are also rose. Three roses are also roses. I mean, like they are also a thing. But when you are like you have that thing. But when many roses are joined together, we are calling it as a complex carbohydrate. When many sugars are joined, we are calling it as a complex thing. So you understand that carbohydrate is like kind of a sugar and sugar class. There are many types. Simple sugars are there, complex sugars are there. All carbohydrates will be made up of sugars. Are we understanding? When carbohydrates are broken down, carbon dioxide is released. So now I will try to show you all the pictures so we can continue with this thing. We have completed till buccal cavity. I have been like going very slow only. I thought to complete digestion today. The size of a glucose will be less than the cell. Yes, obviously. I wanted to complete digestion, but we have just completed one step. but still it is fine because I have taught you lots of basic stuff. Actually, we don't need to taste food at all, but still it is good to taste food. Initially, we were not tasting it as such. Now we have like all designed lots of stuff, and then like we have kind of like doing things only for the taste of food. Okay, children. So I started that lesson with the definition. What makes the difference between glucose and fructose? The chemical structure. Okay. You think like this. You have a sengakallu and then like you also have a karangallu. Both are kallu only, but both have difference. The molecules which are making it or the shape or the structure is different. So that way, glucose, fructose, galactose and all will have different structures. Okay, so we started with the digestion process. It's not like durability, but what is the thing is like the chemical structure is different. That's all. So then we started understanding what is catabolism and what is anabolism. Okay. The sugar that we eat has one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. It is a disaccharide. The sugar that we eat is called as sucrose. That sucrose is made up of two molecules. We can consume monosaccharides itself, but why do you need to? That is why, like, if you need instant energy, you consume monosaccharides. You're taking glucose powder. Okay. But normally it is very difficult for us to produce monosaccharides. It's a costly process. Okay. And then we try to study photosynthesis, okay, as a process of anabolism. Then we try to study where digestion happens, okay, and then we were trying to study about the different parts of alimentary canal. Then we try to study about teeth. Then we try to study about dental formula. I introduced lots of new terminologies here. I have introduced something called as a heterodontic. I also introduced you a term called as diphyodont and mastication. Okay, please change that emastication, cut that E. Mastication only means to chew. Then we studied salivary glands. You need to remember these names very promptly if you are looking for NEET and all. You should know what is a parotid gland, where is mandibular, and then like what is sublingual. You should know. I have told you where it is. Okay, and then like you have saliva, role of saliva things. Then we have studied about tongue, role of tongue. We studied about papillae. Papillae contains taste bud. Then we tried to study about buccal cavity. Okay, then we understood what is happening. Food is converted into food bolus. Please understand one important point. The carbohydrate digestion starts in the mouth itself. Okay, so saliva will contain salivary amylase, which will do the digestion. And then you have your carbohydrates. This is not part of the lesson, but still I taught you because you need to understand this thing. Only if you understand, you will be able to understand digestion as such. Okay. So I just taught you the basics of 11th standard. This is all you'll study in 11th standard. But now I have like just touched upon certain things so that you will understand it. Okay. Thank you very much. We will stop here. Stomach will not secrete salivary amylase. Salivary amylase is secreted only by mouth. In stomach, there is a amylase which is called as gastric amylase. Okay. Tambi, you have to understand that glycogen is the reserve food in our body. Okay, some people were asking about glycogen repeatedly. Okay, plant vante adoda odambla vante it will store it as starch. Nambaloda odambla vante we will store it in the form of glycogen. Okay, so we need to understand that plants will have a different saving mechanism of carbohydrates, and our body has a different mechanism of saving carbohydrates. In our body, the excess glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. In plant's body, the plant will store it in the form of starch. We will try to study about pepsin and all later. Pepsin and all will come in stomach. Okay. So with this thing, we'll stop here. Let me see if chemistry ma'am has come.